Hi guys, Dr. Garda with Backbone Wellness right here in Cincinnati. Now I want to kind of put all this together for you. Okay, so I'm going to start with, if I move my hand, so what controls that? Okay, so it's our brain. But we don't do it by satellite, right? We do it by cable. So your brain sends strength and energy down your spinal cord to all of our cells and tissues and organs. Also, our brain is a generator. It generates life. So what I mean by that, like if your heart stops, they get the paddles and they say clear because they want to put an electric shock into your heart to restart it. What happens if your brain stops? Right? They don't put the paddles on your brain. If your brain and your brainstem stop, then it's over with. You know, so we're not functioning anymore. So your brain sends, again, strength and energy down your spinal cord and then out these nerves to every cell and every tissue and organ of your body. So in order to be healthy, that pathway has to be clear. Does that make sense? Now, our body's really smart. We have a skull that protects our brain, and we have 24 bones that protect our spinal cord, because our spinal cord is very sensitive material again. So if I cut my arm, in a week from now, you know, I know that my arm is going to heal. If you cut your spinal cord, what happens? You know, not so much. So it's very sensitive material. So we have 24 bones that protect the spinal cord. That's the spine's first function. Its second function is it keeps us upright and strong against gravity. So we have gravity is always pushing down, right? And our internal strength keeps us upright. And the balance between those two, that's our posture. Does that make sense? So, again, we're sending that energy down, out these nerves. Now, what can happen because of an accident all at once, a slip or a fall, or gradually over time, like standing on concrete 8 hours a day, doing the same thing day in, day out, you know, sitting for 20 years at a computer like this. You know, we start the day like this, and by the end of the day, we're like this. You know, our posture starts to fail. What happens then is that individual bones or entire sections of the spine can then shift out of alignment. That's called a subluxation. It's the only new word that we ask you to learn. It's called subluxation, which is less light or less life. And what that is, it's like imagine we're turning down a dimmer switch here. So we're subluxated, we're turning down that dimmer switch. Now all that energy coming down from your brain and out to these nerves, there's less energy getting out there. So what happens is that the organs attached to those nerves can then weaken over time. Does that make sense? Okay, now the second thing is, you remember our posture. If you have a weakness in one area of the spine, then you can start to affect and weaken other areas of the spine. And then what happens is that we're turning down more dimmer switches, and a person's entire body can not be functioning as well. Does that make sense? Now, the other thing, now remember, just like cancer or heart disease, at first these things are silent. So a subluxation, we don't feel anything until the nerve is inflamed, and then symptoms will finally show up. So that's part one of this piece. I'm going to go down the spinal cord and kind of break down each section of the spine and what it controls and what it does. All right, thanks guys.